In this video I'm going to show you how to put stencil like this, step by step, and I'm going to show you a little fraction of my daily life, how I get to work, how I set up, what items I use, what stencil I use, what paper I use, what liquid I use. So make sure you watch till the end and you'll see how I made this. So once it's printed out, this is what I use. So that is the paper I use, Classic Thermal by Spirit. Basically it looks like this. You got a couple layers. What you do is take the brown one out. You don't need that one, that's rubbish. And then we use this machine to make it work. So what you do now is take the yellow one separate and keep them two together. So black one facing down and goes through this little gap there. Go all the way in. Always make sure it's till the end. Press this bar down. Then you take the drawing and you face it other way around. So it faces that way. To be honest, I would start with the face first. So face down that way. So you can feel it, you took it in, press this, and it does the job, it burns in. So what it does is scans whatever is on a paper, then it hits the black, and it burns into this one in. You don't need to use any hand, it's nice, clean, and as it would be printed out from computer basically. So there you go, how easy was that? So that's the stencil, that's rubbish, we don't need that anymore. Now let's cut it out. So that's done, and what I do afterwards is I cut 1 million I don't know, cuts to make it like bend over the human body, because human body is not straight, there's different muscles and all sorts. So once you do all these little cuts, literally just about to your stencil line, it's gonna wrap better around the body, the paper is gonna bend better, and the stencil is gonna be more flawless than if you wouldn't cut it. So what we're gonna do is stencil, you need to put the gloves on, 70% alcohol, tissue for the alcohol, and then it's Stencil stuff. This is the brand we use, and this is what I could suggest for you guys to buy as well, because it does really do the job, so buy it. So once you make sure all that is clean, what you do is you look for the body. So her muscle starts from there to about here. So what you need to do is try to get literally bang in the middle. So middle would be here, but as you're adding a little bit higher, it will make more sense, because comparing to the whole leg, it's gonna look like it's falling off. And see this gap here, it's gonna feel unnecessary and it's gonna look like a mistake. So if you go a fraction higher, as you would go, yeah, that's it. So about here, plus you need to look how the leg flows as you need to go with your design. You can't put it like that because it goes wrong. So you gotta find the sweet spot and make your design flow with your customer's body. And one tip for you guys, so human skin is not flat as that. Yeah, human skin has little wrinkles. So if you would zoom in really close, they would look like that. Yeah, so which means when you put stencil stuff, make sure you rub it in so the stencil stuff doesn't touch only there, the tops, and all this would be like empty. When you're gonna put stencil, it's only gonna touch these, which means your stencil gonna rub off real quick. So what you make sure is you rub it in, that stencil, make sure it's all the way in, all that is filled with stencil stuff. Yeah, and once you put the stencil on, you make sure you press it real hard so the stencil paper doesn't touch the tops, but it does touch insides as well. And your stencil is gonna last for, like, I would say up to 2 to 3 hours longer than it would be natural if you just nicely put it on and take it off, because then it only touches the tops of your skin, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's one tip for you guys. So you need as much stencil as you would need to make the purple ink, make it not soak it, but wet, only a fraction. So because these lines are really small and fine, you need only a fraction of stencil stuff down here to make them stick to it. If you're gonna put too much, it's gonna spread, it's gonna soak, and all your clean lines will be dead blurry, and then you will struggle to follow them. So you start with the middle, press the middle down and go sideways. I would start from most important place first, which means like start from the face, go down to hands, go down to her body, and because the tail you can freehand and stuff like that, don't worry about that too much. But once you got messy face, and you'll be struggling from there, because the tail and all that you can freehand, or you can add to it, or you can make it as you want to go, but that is the most important area, so make sure that is bang on and anything else follows after her. Because on this part we can add another tattoo down here what covers half of this, so you can freehand that, because yeah, so always do that first. Start from the middle, go sideways, spread it out, and like I said, add extra pressure, yeah, so it does soak in your customer's body. So doing this way, see, you can see every smallest little line, none of them smudged, none of them blurred, and it's really easy for me to carry on. So what I mostly do is I give 5 to 10 minutes for this one to dry, like really dry, because we only use cream, so cream is smudgy, so you see, you can smudge like that, dead easy. Which means give like 5-10 minutes and then crack on. Have a fag, go for smoke, have some food, whatever, do whatever, just don't touch it, let it dry, and then you start doing. So the longer, what I mostly say to my customers is the longer you keep your stencil, the longer it's gonna stay there. So give like 5-10 minutes.